Watching an Arevaci versus Massilia game, where my enemy is Massilia. Well, this was in a very high funds battle. A core of thorax swords with with a lot of Massilian hoplites, lancers. I brought of 4 mercenary scutari, 4 skin, 2 Iberian swords, and 3 blokes, 2 noble cav, and another noble fighter for my general. So this was a very large battle, fought on actually large infantry sizes as well. And this is, I do not have a very good computer. I'm going to say that straight up. As you can see from those very indistinct shapes off in the background, I think those are meant to be men. But my computer isn't very good, and so it does struggle with these higher settings, and so you can see that it is struggling to keep up with this. But we'll do our best. Anyway, as this game starts off, I have started my 2 guerrilla warriors off in the woods over here. I do not want these Habeas lancers finding them. Therefore, at the very start of the match, I ran my cavalry off this way to gently dissuade my opponent from running into the woods. And here, I'm feeling very confident about this infantry engagement. I'm a bit worried about the thorax swords on either flank. But these Massilian hoplites, they're not very scary. They've got decent melee defense and armor and health, and not a bad charge bonus for a hoplite unit. Not a bad charge bonus at all. As you can see, my scutari have actually an inferior charge bonus. The problem is, they don't have very good melee attack, which, well, it's not bad. It's not bad melee attack, not at all. But yeah, their melee defense just isn't high enough, really. I mean, these mercenary scutari are just as good in every single way, if not better, apart from in armor and charge bonus, but with their higher melee attack and higher weapon damage, they're going to cut through those Massilian hoplites very quickly. And as you can see, I've intermixed noble fighters down my line. So it's noble fighter, scutari, noble fighter, scutari. So in places, I'm going to punch through this Massilian hoplite line very quickly indeed. And that is, of course, not good for my opponent at all. These Balearic slingers up front will very quickly cut through these Celtic slingers, and my Iberian swordsmen are going to eat up a lot of the charges from the Massilian hoplites. So here, I'm not feeling too bad. However, I realise that I can't let these thorax swords outflank me. So I break off on either flank a noble fighter and a scutari, so that they cannot outflank me too quickly, and leave a core of 4 sword units plus my general in the middle. Here my Balearic slingers are going to start quickly cutting through their Celtic slingers, so they're going to push up, and I'm going to retrain my fire onto their general, this Massilian hoplite general up here. Now this is going to be important, because although this might not get many kills, this is going to do a large amount of hit point damage to them. And you'll see why that's important in a minute. As you can see, they're already starting to go down 10 men in just 2 volleys. So Balearic slingers here, racking up a good amount of kills already on the Massilian hoplite general. And over here we've got my guerrilla warriors still hiding off in the woods. Now, they push up with their hoplite force because they know they can't just let my Balearic slingers fire at them forever. I start to push across my Iberian swordsmen to this flank, and because I want to engage with these 4 units and then also engage with my Iberian swordsman. Over here I do manage to get a last minute charge on this Massilian hoplite, and here is a crucial moment. Their Massilian hoplite general gets engaged by a noble fighter, and it just starts dropping painfully quickly. As you can see, down to 90 men in seconds there, and I'm going to crush through that very quickly, which is going to allow. And across the line, as you can see, Massilian hoplites just falling to my men, getting almost no kills and losing 30 men off the charge. Over here, I have stopped their thorax swords with my Celtiberian cav just here. I've pull back my guerrilla warriors and manage to engage both their Hipparchus Lancers without a charge with my noble cav, which allows them to do very well over there. Over here it wasn't the same. My Celtiberian cav and my noble cav were both charged by Hipparchus Lancers, but over here my noble cavalry holding up very well against them. Now my noble fighters here got outflanked by thorax swords, which isn't going to go well for them, especially with these Celtic skirmishers backing them up. But as you can see, I just crushed through their hoplite line in the middle here. And my Balearic slingers right now are just mopping up their Celtic slingers. My noble fighters here are going to help wrap up this left flank of mine. Here, a Massilian hoplite that managed to sneak around the side has got engaged by my noble fighter general and an Iberian swordsman. I think I'm eventually going to pull one of them out of that to go and help. And here I pull my other Iberian swordsman over to start firing javelins into these Hipparchus Lancers. Now, Celtic slings going down in the middle. Over here, my noble cavalry still holding up both these units of Hipparchus Lancers. If these units of Hipparchus Lancers could have come around and started bringing rear charges or mopped up my Balearic slingers, who are all up over 40 kills now, this battle could have been very different, because these Balearic slingers were here the entire game doing things like this, firing into the sides, the unshielded flanks, a lot of the time, of enemy units, helping do hit point damage and kills and morale penalties, and just helping in a whole bunch of ways. Over here my noble fighters are still holding out, even though they've been outflanked by thorax swords, wrapping up already 80 kills, even in that bad situation. My noble cavalry is actually going to turn this extended melee fight around against these Hipparchus Lancers. Over here it's not going to be the same story. They managed to disengage one Hipparchus Lancer. However, this noble cav has racked up a fair amount of kills against the two. My guerrilla warriors got off somewhere, I can't remember where they were actually, I think, yeah, that's it. I engaged them against these thorax swords to keep them here, to hold them here. And at this point I've wrapped up the infantry engagement in the middle. I've used my Balearic slingers to help finish off Hipparchus Lancers. Yeah, help finish off Hipparchus Lancers on this flank. And over here I've got spare Iberian swordsmen and noble fighters to bring in. And these noble fighters here rack up over 100 kills, even though they're outflanked from either side by thorax swords. That's just not the fight that you want your thorax swords to be in. It's slightly better than just going one-on-one, but it's still not great. And now they are suffering penalties from army losses. Over here, Hipparchus Lancers getting mobbed by 4 units of swordsmen. Thorax swords getting outflanked by Scutari and noble fighters. These noble fighters rack up 220 kills with only 9 losses. That is the power of noble fighters right there. My noble cav sticking it all the way through against 2 units of Hipparchus Lancers there and coming out on top. Very nearly. They do win because of the Hipparchus Lancers routing in the end, but they did very well over there in the end. And overall, it was a very nice victory to me. Now, the main points in this, as you can see, were the Massilian hoplites just not getting the kills they needed to. Mostly down to the fact they were up against sword units who had higher melee attack and a good charge bonus, and in the end it was a rather resounding victory for me, really, with nearly double the amount of kills. And the Celtic slings just not paying off. Thorax swords doing okay, but not really paying for themselves, because see, 56 kills, not good enough in the end. Hipparchus Lancers just not paying off. They needed to be more in the range of 200 kills, not 50 and 80. Over here, my noble fighters, all 4 of the ones that engaged getting over 100 kills, 2 of them getting over 200. They did wonderfully. My Scutari did pretty awesome, all things considered. My guerrilla warriors, they would have to see how the fight would have gone. My Iberian swords doing amazingly, and so did my Balearic slingers. So yep, that's another battle for you guys. Have fun, and see you next time.